Today we play golf.
Let me show you how we do it in the pros.
Welcome to Behind the Golf Brand Podcast.
I never miss with the 7-iron.
A conversation with some of the most interesting innovators and entrepreneurs behind the biggest names in golf.
My friends were the golf clubs. I lived on the golf course. I lived on the driving range.
From pro talk
You should learn something from each and every single round you play in.
to fun from on and off the green.
Why would you play golf if you don't play it for money?
Just let me put the ball in the hole.
This is Behind the Golf Brand Podcast with Paul Liberatore.
What's up, guys? Paul from Golfers Authority. Welcome to the Behind the Golf Brand Podcast. This week, I got my buddy Lance Garvin from Sweet Rollz Golf Grips. Actually, they're more than golf grips now, but I know them golf grips. They make amazing putter grips, and we've been working together for the last couple of years, and they're really cool guys. So I thought I'd have Lance on the show. So welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks a lot, Paul. I appreciate it. Been looking forward to this. So you're cranking on the show too. This thing is going, and man, you got a lot of cool guests on there. The show's really good. So
did you do your research before you came on the show? You're like,
I did do a little research before I came
Who'd you
on.
listen to? Do you remember anyone?
Yeah, I listened to Ronan from Sunday Golf. I met him last year. He's a great guy.
Yeah, everyone's cool. He's super smart.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm trying to remember. There were a couple others. I was just clicking and listening to a couple pieces here and there, but
making sure it's safe to come on. It's not like these gotcha moments.
Yeah, I had to.
I would do the same thing.
Yeah, no, it's good stuff.
So where are you located at?
We're in Utah. We're about 45 minutes south of Salt Lake City. So
Is there a lot of snow there right now?
yeah, you know what? We've been getting absolutely dumped on. It's been nice. The last several winters have been just pretty mediocre, which is good for golf. I've golfed here in Utah over Thanksgiving and even Christmas one year, but yeah, right now there's no such thing, at least in this part. Further south, you can always golf it. But
are you guys getting all that snow from that big rain thing coming through? Because in California, it's on all that rain.
Yeah, we've been getting a lot of rain down here and kind of off of the mountains, but the mountains have been getting a ton of snow. It's just been pure snow, so that's been good. Yeah, I think some of that's come from the coast as well.
That's cool.
We'll take it. It
never rains here. It never snows here either, so
yeah,
that's okay.
You guys have hot and less hot in Arizona.
Exactly. It's like hot from let's say May until October, and then now it's like the best time of year essentially.
Yeah.
For the next 3 months, 4 months.
Yeah, just
we got the Phoenix Open in like 3 weeks, so it's gonna be crazy here, dude. We have Phoenix Open and the Super Bowl the same weekend.
Dude, it's gonna be off the chain in your neck of the woods.
Yeah, it's like you better leave your house. It's gonna be like crazy time.
Yeah, you might want to batten the hatches, make sure you're all secure.
I know people that are like Airbnb in their houses for like a fortune.
Yeah, I've heard about
on that side of town.
Yeah, right there.
It just seems like a lot of work, though, to me to do that. Like, they have to clear out my house to, like, have people stay there they don't know. No thanks.
Yeah, and who knows what your house looks like afterwards, too. I mean, I know you got insurance and things like that, but still, could be a hassle.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Exactly. So are you a golf pro?
I am anything but a golf pro. I'm a very recreational golfer. I've enjoyed it over the years. In fact, somebody told me as we were getting into this, I said, hey, if you want to golf more, make sure you don't get into a golf business. And to a large degree, I found that to be true just because it's been so busy. But at the same time, if you kind of work things around and make sure that you're playing some golf to conduct some business and get things done that you need to, then it can actually work out. But I had to figure that out at first. But yeah.
So is your background in golf or no?
My background is not in golf. My background is in business and sales and consulting and that type of thing. What happened was I was talking to a buddy of mine several years ago, and he says, we came to a point where we thought, we could do better than what's currently being done in the golf grip market. Let's take a look at it. And when we first started off, we thought, we'll serve the underserved women's market, and because there are a lot of women golfers, and it usually gets catered to men, and we thought there's an opportunity there with the ladies golf market, and so that's kind of where we started. And I don't know if you remember seeing our first patterns, but they were a little bit more floral and some things like that. But we had all these guys say, man, those are great. What about us? What about something a little bit more masculine and manly and edgy? And we're like, okay, we like where your thinking's at. And so we started coming up with other designs as well. But it started off, we thought, let's serve the ladies market and take it from there.
So like, how many partners are there in Sweet Rollz?
We got 5 partners in Sweet Rollz.
And how'd you guys all know each other?
Well, one of my partners in Sweet Rollz is actually my business partner in my other business, which is a consulting and started off as a consulting and training company, and we have a digital assessment now that we utilize with Fortune 500 companies. But the other 2 guys that were the initial partners, we were working in the same office building with them, and we were talking about doing a few different things. They're online marketing experts. They're great at what they do. And we started talking about a number of different things, and come to find out, they'd been exploring putter grips and golf products as well. And it was pretty serendipitous the way it all worked out. And so we started to get serious about it, and it took us over 2 years. What
year was that?
We started talking in 2018, but they'd been talking about it before then for a couple of years. It took us over 2.5 years to finally get something off of the ground. It was crazy. And we launched right at the beginning of COVID too, in summer of 2020. But, we started off thinking, all right, why hasn't somebody really done this before? Like we're talking about doing. And we came up with
because no one was doing this. Like nobody. I mean, you saw like a camo pattern or like a wannabe USA pattern on a Superstroke or something like, it looked red, white, and blue, but it wasn't like patterned. It was just stylistically done. Yeah,
if you got wild and crazy with the grip, it had a red stripe on it, or something, or stars and stripes, or something.
It's black and white, with like a stripe. It's like that was it. There was no pattern. There was zero pattern.
Yeah, that's right. And so we came up with some patterns and even some prototypes. We showed them to friends and family. They all said, "Hey, those look amazing. That's a really good idea." And we can't imagine that they wouldn't sell. And some of these people were golfers and some of them weren't. But you never know when they're lying to you to not hurt your feelings and that type of thing.
Yeah, you don't know.
So we said, you know what, let's take it to the market. Let's see how we do. So we made initial investment, and it was a pretty decent investment. And we puckered a little bit when we jumped in, because we didn't want to come out with just one style.
Four colors. Yeah, you had to come out swinging with like a shotgun to what's going to look like.
Yeah,
like a real brand, not one design. Like you need so on that initial design or initial launch, like how many designs did you guys have?
We came to market with 15. And so we had everything from floral to we had a leopard pattern. We had the pineapple.
You had like a hula girl one. Did you have a hula one?
Hula girl was in addition to the 15.
I remember that 15, one.
But yeah, that one's still going strong. But yeah, what was crazy too is the pineapple grip. A couple of us were like, okay, yeah, you know what? Let's take a flyer on it. And the one who was really pushing it was like, no, this one will sell. And that grip sold 3-1 over everything else for like the first year. It was nuts.
Insane.
Yeah, it was insane.
Why do you think that?
I don't know. I don't know. People loved it. So other things caught up to it, and as we've come out with new patterns and things like that, the pineapple's still a top 5, top 10.
So when you guys launched, you have 15 designs, and I don't even want your MOQ on that was probably pretty big, times 15.
It's decent,
right? So it's like it would have to be a sizable investment for everybody because you had to have a lot of inventory. Yeah, because you have 15 designs coming out of the gate.
Yeah. Yep, that's right. Yeah, so good, and that's what we thought. We thought, you know what, we don't even know which ones will sell the best, or if they'll
Yeah,
even.
you don't know. It's complete risk, right?
Yeah,
Like
complete
you might
risk.
not be
Yeah,
able to sell any of them, or you might
yeah,
sell one or two, or
yeah.
50 of one and 37 of another one, but you bought 4,000 of them.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Believe me, we puckered a little bit as we launched that day, that fateful day in July of 2020. But yeah, the market responded really well. They loved it, and
So how did you launch it? Like, what was your like method to launch?
yeah, you know what? It's a great question. We actually thought we would be just an online kind of boutique store to a large degree. And so we launched online. We started putting ads on Instagram and Facebook and social media in that regard. Within 30 days, PGA Tour Superstore came and knocking and said, "Hey, we'd love to carry your grips." And we're like, "Okay, I guess we're going retail." And they've been an outstanding partner to work with. By the way, they've been so good. Yeah, they brought us in. We started in about I don't know, 15 to 20 of their stores. And now we're in, I think we're in all 50 plus stores across the country with them. And then about a month later, we had kind of a regional sporting goods store named Shields, called Shields. They got about 30 locations.
Yeah, they're building one here in my town. They're
Okay,
like
cool.
building it, like the big Ferris wheel and all that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They're cool.
Are they? It looks like
yeah.
a cool ass building.
Yeah, yeah, they're a nice place. They're a great place to shop, for everything, right? But they reached out to us, and then the next day we had Dick's and Golf Galaxy reach out to us, and they put us in all 50, or I'm sorry, all 100 plus of their Golf Galaxy stores and Dick's online, and
So you're telling me this? You're telling me that like you ran ads for like a month, right, to get traction. I'm assuming you probably did some outreach to influencers or something.
A little
maybe, but really, it's like nobody was doing this, and then the big boys see it and they're like, "Oh crap!" Like that would be. They knew it was going to sell in their store. They knew it right away.
Yeah.
Like because they sell so many grips already as it is, so they're like, "Oh, that's going to sell."
Yeah.
And it's like, and they just approached you right away and are like, "Hey, we want to work with you guys." Yeah. And then you had the street credibility, right? Because as soon as you got it with PGA Superstore, it's like, oh yeah, no problem. You know, now it's like everybody else wants to hop on board.
Yeah. It was crazy. It kind of blew our minds, and yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, the street cred was great for us, and you know, when you tell somebody, you know, when somebody says, well, where are you selling right now? And you can tell them PGA Tour Superstore and Shields and Dick's and Golf Galaxy. People are like, okay, all right, yeah, you know what? We'll order. We'll take some. So it's been good. It's been fun that way, and everybody's been great to work with too.
So right now, would you say a majority of your sales comes from retail or from online?
Yeah, it weighs more on retail for sure, but we do a pretty decent amount online as well.
So by the end of 2020, were you already in all those stores then?
For Golf Galaxy, I'm trying to remember the timeline now. I think, yeah, we were going into all the stores at the end of 2020 with Golf Galaxy. With PGA Tour Superstores, we hadn't gotten in all of them yet. They're still kind of running some tests and making sure that the grips sold.
Yeah, checking the market.
Yeah. But yeah, and then Shields, we started out in, I think, about a dozen, and then expanded from there. So
it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I mean, if you think about it, like that kind of growth. So within 1 year of launch, you're already in retail.
Yeah.
And this is nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, now I have seen Sweet Rolls in like boutique golf stores too. Like I've seen your setup, you know, like whatever, your display, I guess you could call it.
Yeah.
So who handles that? Like, if they just came to you, or you just reach out to golf? Like, how does that work? I don't know.
You know, we did some outbound reaching out and you know, reaching out to some of these pro shops and country clubs and things like that. But we get a lot of people reaching out to us as well, just from our online marketing and things like that. We've done some email campaigns. but I don't think a whole lot of pros in the pro shops check their email that much. So,
Really?
yeah, I mean, it was a
They
decent.
probably get
response.
spammed a lot, I would assume.
Yeah.
Like with
Yeah,
offers
it was a
crap.
decent response, but the vast majority for sure. Just we have ways, like a lot of people do, to see if people open your emails and things like that, and a lot of them went
Yeah, of
unopened,
course.
but social media was great for us. Again, just because there was nothing like it, and it was really different.
Well, it's a very visual product, right?
Yeah.
I mean, how do you guys come up with the designs?
Oh man, we so we have one guy who heads that process up, but we all contribute. We all
Vote.
take a look, and when we start to say, okay, let's come up with some new designs, we'll take a look, see what's out there. We'll bring our ideas to the meetings and hash them out, and then get some mock-ups made, get some digital mocks made, and then see how they look. Then we get, once we narrow that down and decide which ones we want to go with, then we'll get some physical grips and see what those look like. And most of the time they look good. There's sometimes they come back, we're going, yee, that one does not look good. Let's not move forward with that one. But yeah, it's a team effort, but we have one guy, Tanner, who heads that up.
Is he a graphic designer?
No, he's not a graphic. I mean, he's got some graphic design skills. I mean, just because he kind of dabbles in that aspect, but yeah, he's a creative guy, and
That's cool.
Yeah, it works out.
How many designs do you guys have now?
I think we got close to 30 that are currently on the website. We've retired a few. We'll let those run their course, and then take them off as we bring on new designs and that type of thing. One thing that's been really interesting is we've had a number of people reach out and want to do custom grips, and so those bring some different designs as well. We've done some work with Margaritaville and Jimmy Buffett. Did a couple grips for those guys. They've got a massive brand. We've done one for an Anheuser-Busch company. We did a couple for the Utah Jazz. Those were fun.
That's cool.
Dick's has their own custom putter grip with us. So does PGA Tour Superstore. So yeah, so those are fun too, to do it that way. We got some others in the work too that we're excited about, some other collaborations like that.
Is it essentially all the same grip, like style, I guess?
Yeah. So we started off with a mid-size grip. This is one of our first ones, the Mahalo, and it's a mid-size, a little bit of a taper, flat front, and that's been our biggest seller by far. We added in a skinny grip, so it's a standard size grip. We call it skinny, and we brought that in on some of our top selling patterns and designs as well. But by far the mid-size, people want the mid-size is what we found. So it's largely been that one.
The mid-size.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of makes it easier, right? For in terms of what's the word? Sourcing, essentially, because you're not coming up with like 50 different sizes. Like it's not like a golf glove company where you have to have like 70 different sizes of the same product.
Yeah, exactly. It does cut down on the SKUs and makes it easier that way. Because if we had 30 of them plus 5 different sizes, that all of a sudden that's 150 SKUs and gets a little bit unruly that way. So
I couldn't even imagine.
Yeah.
So you guys initially were in grips, and then last year, when did you guys start moving into like other products? Because like, for example, like your hats are really cool. Like when did you move into hats?
Yeah, the hats.
Last year?
Yeah, the hats were last year. Yeah, and those have been great. Those have been awesome. We're all wondering why we didn't get into hats sooner, but it was, hats have been really good. We got a lot of requests for, hey, do you have something that matches my grip? And so we came out with towels in the same patterns, club head covers, same patterns, the hats like you've seen in the same patterns, and you know, and some of them are kind of variations of the pattern as well, but tie into the grip. And that's been great too, because there are a lot of diehards with other brands out there, you know, and that's great. We totally get that, but they do love our designs, and they can bring in a club head cover for their Scotty Cameron, or, you know, they can wear a hat that they like the designs on, even though they don't want to change anything on their putter. So it's been a good addition that way.
And then when did you do like the head covers? That was last year too.
Yeah, that was last year. We kind of expanded into all these arenas last year, in 2022, and that's been great too. They're nice. They're premium leather. They come out of Mexico. Our partner there has been fantastic to work with also, but yeah, they're nice. They're nice, a nice product. We'll probably look at some others as well that will start to not necessarily match our grips, just because we're getting some feedback that way. And like I said, we've got some other collaborative brands that we're working with to do some cool things too. So you have to be on the lookout for some.
I think that's the key, right?
Golf. What's
is
that?
People see, and then they're like, "Oh, I like that, but it'd be cool to do this other thing," and it makes it really easy for them to collab with you, because you're like, "Yeah, we can do that, no problem."
Yeah.
You know, like, here's the design. This is what it look like, and it might look like crap. You know, like because it's too. You're like, but you could show them like, "Oh, we have to, you know, spread out the logo or whatever they want," but like you have the functionality to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what's been really interesting is some of these big brands that we've worked with, they said, hey, why don't you have your designer come up with something? Here's the artwork, and you guys come up with something. And 99% of the time, it's our designer's work that puts out the final product, and they've loved it. So it's been easy to work with that way, and it's cool to bring in somebody else's logo and their colors and their colorway and everything like that, and put something together that looks really cool on a grip.
So are you going to expand more, do you think, this year into other categories, or do you think like you'll regroup and, you know, build upon what you learned last year?
Yeah. We got a couple products that we're looking at. One is hopefully within the next 30 to 60 days. This should be cool. This should be fun. A consumable product.
Do you know what that could be? I can think of one. I can think of two things right off the top of my head.
Yeah. And then the other one is still still similar to what we're doing, but we're still working on that. Still working on that one. But yeah, hopefully we have two new product lines this year that would be really cool, that people have asked for. So
would you, now you have your website and you sell it through retail, but do you also sell it on Amazon or no?
We don't do Amazon. You know, we've heard horror stories about regulations and getting ripped off and you know, with knockoffs and things like that. And so we've really stayed away from Amazon. Who knows? That may change in the future depending on what we do, but yeah, right now, no Amazon.
Like right now with the putter grips, I mean, I think it's probably a really growing market, to be honest, because I mean, people want to stand out on the course, and it's like almost you started with the grips and then you move to other items that makes you more individualized. Let's put it that way. Yeah. But in regards to the other products that are like accessories to it, I think it's brilliant what you guys have done. Just brilliant, because you like literally moved to like similar categories using similar designs so that all kind of flows as one piece, and I think that's really smart. Yeah. No, we have people buy bundles all the time that, you know, they get all sorts of shamrocked out or skull and crossboned out, and it's awesome. It's fun. So would you guys ever move to like iron grips or driver grips or stuff like that? Yeah, that's something we've discussed many times. What we want, because it's a different torque on the grip, a different different thing, right? Like now it's more about like functionality and like being able to withstand that. That's right. And so we want to make sure that our quality holds up. You know, you hold
you hold a putter grip and it's not a tight grip, a tight hold or anything like that. And so that can wear really well. That can do, that can last for a long time. Whereas, an iron grip, we actually tested an iron grip, a few iron grips, I don't know, a couple years ago, and they weren't holding up. So we thought, you know what, let's figure that out. And
it's a risk.
it is,
right? It's a huge risk because you could invest a bunch of time and money into something, and then like people are going to complain when their grip twists inside their club when they're hitting an iron or a driver, and you're like, oh crap. And really, it's kind of outside of your control too, because really, it might not have been wrapped right. All these other factors that come into play when you don't really have that factor with your putter. It's like, is it straight? Okay, cool. Like, that's about it.
Yeah, and it's on, and the club's not going to come flying out of the grip itself, or anything like that. So no, it'll be good. Yeah, but yeah, we have discussed that if we can figure out a good way to do that. We've had countless people ask us for that, but it's got to hold up. It's got to look good.
So are there a lot of companies out there that are coming to market to compete with you?
There are a lot of grip companies out there, and they're the kingpins out there that are far and away the best ones,
the big boys,
the big boys. Yeah. And there have been a handful of people coming on board with trying to do a designed putter grip, but like you said before, they've come out with one or two or three, something like that. And I got to level with you. It is not an easy thing to do. We learned some things the hard way. Fortunately, we came on board when golf was just getting a shot in the arm with COVID. It was the one thing people could do, or one of the things that people could do in a quote unquote socially distanced, environment. And so golf just took off completely right at the right time for us. But I don't know how some of these other companies will survive doing what they're doing with a handful of patterns, and that's about it. Just because, I don't know. Like I say, we've learned some things. We've got some great resources behind us now that have really made it a lot easier for us to do what we're doing. But yeah, we got punched in the face a few times with supply chain. Yeah, supply chain was a mess. Right during 2020.
Because that'll kill you.
Yeah,
I mean, really.
Yeah.
Like if you can't deliver, and you have all this capital stuck in this product that is stuck on a ship somewhere or in a.
Yeah, and it's a lengthy process to get the product too. It's not just hey, it's here in 21 days or anything like that. It takes a little bit longer.
Are you shipping it by air or by boat?
During COVID, we started going by air just because that was
super expensive. Yeah,
there were some expenses to that for sure that we hadn't planned on, but it was more reliable. I mean, there were boats circling the bay in California that were there for weeks and months, and they were buried. Who knows where boxes were buried for people, on those freight boats. And so,
are you still doing air freight, or are you doing boat now?
We're still doing air right now, just because
it's a cost. I do that with my stuff too. It's like, what, you're gonna pay double the price, and that's just what it is. Like, it's double the price, then it costs twice as much for that than it does for shipping, like boat, right? Yeah. But it's like, I'm gonna get it in 3 weeks, or I'm gonna get it in. Actually, once they ship it, you're gonna get it probably in a week. So it's almost like it's reliable. You have to pay for it. You got to add that into your margin. Yeah. And be like, well, okay, but we have it here. It's not stuck in Taiwan, or it's not stuck in Long Beach, or it's not. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you got to do it to be reliable and to have a good experience. You don't want people coming to your website and having everything sold out
and pre-order, because no one wants to do that. Like, I think people were willing to do that during COVID. That was just the norm. But like no one wants to wait. You can see that you can especially see that with, like, I sell something, like I have a product on Amazon, and I saw that at Christmas. Like essentially once Amazon could not guarantee delivery before Christmas, it was like, like no one's ordering it because they're like, well, I need it before Christmas. I don't need it in January 5th or whatever. Like they made some other date in the future. So it's like, I think people's not spending habits, but expectation level for products that they order, they want it. Like essentially, if it takes more than a week to get to the person, you just piss them off. There has to be a really good reason why their order took a week to be shipped. Like that's
right.
ridiculous.
That's right. Yeah. So we're still going there. I mean, there's still some challenges with ocean freight. So yeah, we pay a little bit more, but we want to provide a good experience too. We want to have as much in stock as possible and keep it going that way. But
so do you guys have like a warehouse in Utah, or what do you guys do?
We do. We have a warehouse here in Utah, and it's where a lot of the magic happens. So we got a great team in there.
Do you have an office there? Is like an office, warehouse, everything, the whole 9 yards?
There is an office in there for the people that are running the warehouse. We have an office just down the road. It's not too far. It's probably a mile down the road. So yeah, so we're close. We're close to the warehouse.
But does everybody kind of work remote? Like you don't have to be at the warehouse, or you don't have to be at the office.
No. Yeah, I'm at home today. Yeah, we're remote, but when we have our meetings, we typically, 99% of the time we'll meet at the office for our meetings. But yeah, it's I think we've proven that we can do a lot more remote than we could before COVID, interestingly enough. So,
yeah, I think corporate America doesn't want to do that though. Corporate America wants everybody in the office.
No, they don't. They want you to come in and they want to be able to see what you're doing, which I don't blame them. I don't blame them one bit. So I think we become lazier as a country in that regard. People don't work as hard and as much as they have in the past, but that's a whole nother topic.
So you guys going to the PGA show this year?
We are. We'll be there. Booth 2507, I believe, is what.
Oh, you remember the number already? Holy crap!
I think.
What section is that? Where's that at? Is that by the putter area? I would have.
You know what? That's a really good question. I don't know. So we're probably amongst all the other grip companies. So that's what happened last year. But it was good. It was a great show.
So last year when you went, like who all was there? Like all the big boys?
No, you know what? The big boys were not there, and that was our first experience with the show, and it was it was great for us. We met a lot of great people. We added another aspect to our model that's been fantastic. We got a lot of attention that we probably wouldn't have while people are at the bigger booths there, so it was cool. It was a great experience. We're looking forward to this one too. So are you going?
Yeah, I'm going.
Awesome.
So it should be a fun time. I'm excited about.
Yeah, we'll get together while we're there for sure.
I mean, I enjoyed going. I enjoy seeing people that I know, and just kind of hanging out. Really,
yeah.
Like I have no agenda. Like it's when you walk into this place, like I mean, if anyone hasn't been there, you walk in and it's just like, whoa,
it's enormous.
Like your head explodes. Like you're like, this can't be real. Like it's so big. It's massive. It's bigger than anything I've ever seen in my entire life. Like the best way to describe it is like it's a square mile under glass. Like that's what it feels like. And nothing is by each other. Like, oh, you want to go see Lance? Okay, cool. I'm going to walk 15 minutes to get to Lance. Oh, I have to go see Brian. Okay, I'm going to walk 15 minutes back the other direction. Like, it's so big. It's so big.
True. Yeah, it's true. There were some people that we were talking with before that we wanted to meet up with. And so, okay, cool. Come see us. We're at booth whatever. So we'd walk over there and we're like, oh my gosh, this thing is like, it's a country mile to get there. It's taking
it really is
forever.
And then you wonder, like when they stick people in places, like why the hell are they over here? Like it's so like it's almost like an afterthought. Like, oh yeah, your grip company will put you over here by the T-shirt people, and you're like, that makes no sense.
Yeah, yeah, I know.
It's fun. Like I mean, I enjoy. I don't know. It's like you talk. Lance and I were talking about this before the show. Like I know Lance. Lance and I have worked together for probably almost 3 years, at least when you started.
Yeah.
And like, it'd be cool to see Lance and like, hey, and like you actually have talked to this person tons of times, and it's weird because now you meet him in person, but you already know him. It's just really, it's surreal, you know? And then I don't know. So I remember when I went in 20, it was before COVID hit. It was like a month before COVID hit. And they're like talking about, oh, did you hear about that virus in China? Like people were talking about that at the show. And I'm like, oh, maybe like no one thought anything, you know, it just, it's so weird.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. Yeah. Remember, we were going to flatten the curve for 2 weeks. And then, it all died out. So
yeah.
Life in general died out.
It's gonna be interesting, and I'm not like I was thinking about this too. Like if China there's zero COVID policy, whatever. Like I wonder if I'm not saying at the PGA show, like there's gonna be all these people coming from overseas. Not from China, but from overseas, right? Europe or whatever. Like I wonder if this is like gonna be a super spreader event because there's all these freaking people. You know, I doubt it because we all are vaccinations or whatever, but still, it's just, I don't know. There's gonna be a lot of people there. It should be interesting. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun, and I think that you're gonna see a lot of brands there. That's what
I think so too. Yeah, I was going through the list of brands that have booths. Anyhow,
I should do that
last week. Yeah, and there's some good ones there. So yeah. I've talked to one brand. We got a bunch of different golf brands here in Utah, and I was talking to one golf brand who they decided not to go.
Who, Asher?
No. Is Asher not going?
No, I mean Asher's from Utah. I don't know. They're probably going. That's where I met them.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people pulled out at the last second too last year. They
because it was that surge. Like I was gonna go last year. I'd already booked my flight and everything, and then it was like that surge of COVID. I'm like, oh hell no. I'm not doing that.
Yeah. We were like, we're going. This will be good for us. So, but no, I'm excited for this year. It should be a good one. Lots of good companies.
There's a bunch of brands in Utah. Like people don't realize. Like I know Asher's there for sure, but like, what's that belt company? Mission Belts is out of Utah too.
Yeah, those guys are here. Yeah,
they're good dudes.
You got Primo. You've got.
Primo.
Just a number. Primo make those joggers and pants. They're cool. Those are cool. I got about 10 pair of those. They're a lot. There's some good ones. Yeah, super comfortable. Super comfortable. You should get yourself a pair.
Why don't you hook me up since you have 10 pairs?
All right, I'll I'll hook you up, man. I got you covered. I'll get you brand new pairs, and I'll keep my 10.
Yeah, you give me worn out ones that I've worn for a couple of years. I think I'm a little bit bigger than you, probably. No. Well, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely going to be there, and it'd be cool to see you while I'm there too and connect as well.
Yeah, that'll be awesome.
Well, thank you for being on the show today. I really appreciate it. Where can people find Sweet Rolls outside of the stores that you already mentioned?
Yeah, appreciate that. It's sweetrollsgolf.com, and Rollz is with a Z, but I think we own Sweet Rolls with an S too, sweetrollsgolf.com. So if you miss
like Sweet Rolls,
it'll read Sweet Rolls Golf with an S. I think it'll redirect you to the right site. But yeah, sweetrollsgolf.com. So
cool.
Yeah, thanks for having me on here too, Paul. You're great. We've talked about this for a little bit, and I'm glad you're available and had slot 97 for me, man. You were, like I say, you were cranking along. I'm excited.
I never thought it would. I don't know. I never thought it'd be this many. I mean, it's just crazy.
Yeah, it's awesome.
But well, thank you for being on the show, and I appreciate it very much. I appreciate working with you guys, and I'll see everybody in the next episode.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Behind the Golf Brand Podcast.
You're going to beat me at golf?
Stay connected on and off the show by visiting golfersauthority.com. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment.
Golf is always more fun when you win.
Stay out of the beach and see you on the green.